I will do amazing things. Together, I will do amazing things. I am doing amazing things. Together, I am doing amazing things. And so it is. And beneath all of that other stuff is your true self. Beneath all of that other stuff, those doubts, those fears, the toys, the things that we think we need, is your true self and that unique and diverse gift that you are in the world. Each of us has a unique, diverse gift, a talent that we are here to bring to the world, yes? You are here to shine that light, to be that energy in the world. And that is, in summation, that's what the parable of the talents is all about, is understanding that beneath all of it, you have this bright light, and you're here to shine that light. Now, a parable is a short story, and Jesus was a master teacher and used parables all the time to teach his students, to teach people spiritual principles. And he used these little short stories with symbols like coins and seeds and pearls to convey an idea that we may be able to grasp. Because when we hear spiritual principles, well, we're a little resistant to them, aren't we? When we hear spiritual principles, that part of us that doesn't feel up to it is resistant. That part of us that has those fears and doubts doesn't feel up to it. And so we put up our own barriers to those spiritual ideas. We put up barriers to those spiritual principles. And so that's why Jesus taught in parable, so that it was something where everyone could get something out of. And he was a master teacher at teaching at different levels. So on one level, there's kind of the surface level of the parable, but underneath there's a deep spiritual meaning. Jesus said to us, you have eyes, but do not see. You have ears, but do not hear. Anybody feel like that every once in a while? We're hearing stuff, but we're like, yeah, I'm not getting it. I'm not ready. First I need to take a class, a workshop, or first I need to get up and have my Wheaties. I don't know, whatever you eat in the morning these days. Those are resistances. Those are our pushing back on these spiritual principles, these idea of who you really are. And so these parables help us to grab and hold of something to meet us where we're at. And Jesus was a master at meeting people where they were at, from those who could just understand, okay, I'm planting a seed, I get it, to those who hear and see the deep spiritual meaning that's within it. So the parable of the talents begins like this. The kingdom of heaven is like a man going on a journey. So master was going on a journey out of the country. He brought 3 of his servants together. To one servant, he gave 5 talents. To another servant, he gave 2 talents. And to a third servant, he gave 1 talent, each according to their abilities. Now, a talent is a form of currency, or was a form of currency back then. In fact, it was a great value. The value of a talent was about a year's worth of wages for someone who worked. So it was a great responsibility that he was giving to his servants. So the first servant who got the 5 talents started right away at once, put those talents to work, and he doubled them and made 10. The second servant followed suit, and he doubled his 2 talents and made them 4. Now the third servant was afraid. He was worried. He had 1 talent and he had to take care of it. So he took it back and he dug a hole and he buried it somewhere where no one would know, where it was secret and safe. The master came back from his journey and brought his servants to him. And the first servant said, Master, look, I have taken these 5 talents and I've turned it into 10 talents. And here's your good. And the master said, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things, and you will share in the master's happiness. And the second servant came up and said, well, look, master, I did the same thing. I doubled my talents. Here are your 4 talents that are yours. And the master said, well done, a good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things, and you will share in master's happiness. The third servant came on. Listen to this. Here's what he said. Master, I knew you were a harsh man, reaping where you did not sow and gathering where you did not scatter seeds, so I was afraid. I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here is what is yours. But the master replied, you wicked and lazy servant. You knew, did you, that I reap where I do not sow and gather where I did not scatter seeds? Then you ought to have invested the money with the bankers. And on my return, I would have received what was mine with interest. So take this talent from him and give it to the one with 10 talents. For all of those who have will be given more, and they will have abundance. But for those who have nothing, even what they have will be taken away. And as for this worthless slave, throw him into the outer darkness where he will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. The end. Isn't that uplifting? Now, if you're taking this literally, that ending may sound a little bit harsh. If you're taking this at face value, you may be having questions about what this really means. It sounds like he's creating this experience of greed, that greed is important, and it's not. It's sounding like he's vengeful and he's throwing out, that God is throwing us out when we don't do what is right, and he's not. Many people interpret this as, this is something that's going to happen later when I get to heaven. In Unity, though, we understand that what Jesus was saying, and he said many times, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The kingdom of heaven is now and present, and it is within you. It is the consciousness that you experience when you're open to God, when you say yes to Spirit, when you step into that flow of your abundance, when you say, yes, I'm here. Allow me to serve, to be, to express my light. That is the kingdom. That's what the kingdom of God is like. When we are there expressing and experiencing our good. So there are 3 spiritual lessons that I want to explain to you or talk about here, and then we'll go a little bit deeper. So these are the 3 high-level messages, and then there's a deep metaphysical message that Jesus was expressing. The first message, you are endowed with certain talents. You are endowed with creativity and ability and skills and gifts. And you are unique. If you noticed in the story, each one got a different amount. You didn't hear them complain about it, did you? You didn't hear them say, well, he got 5 and I only got 2. No, they just accepted it and they stepped forward and they invested it. They used their talents to create more good in the world. But so often, we are here comparing ourselves to one another, aren't we? Have you heard the term, the grass is always greener on the other side? How often are we looking at our neighbor's lawn, looking at our neighbor's front yard, looking at our neighbor's toys, and wishing that were us? How often are we comparing ourselves to someone else? That person speaks so eloquently, I wish I could be like that. How often do we feel like I was born in the wrong family, in the wrong body, in the wrong situation? If I was only like them over there. See, already we're burying our talents. What if we took all of these experiences in life, whatever experience is going on in your life, think of a time when you were diminishing your own sense of self. Think about a time when you were looking and comparing yourself to someone else. What if you can let that go? Imagine letting that go. And imagine having that and using this situation as it is as a launching pad in this moment to develop, to discover new spiritual strengths, to discover and build your spiritual skills, to take in this moment and know that you are one with the infinite flow of life, love, and wisdom. And we're all unique. We're all different. And that's important in the world. What would life be like if everyone was like me? I know, some of you are moaning. I am too. I don't want a million me. You know, when I was growing up, somewhere in this age range, in that age, you know, when the kids are a little annoying to their parents. Certainly not any of us. My mom would say, I hope you have kids just like you. And I stood there and said, me too. The world will be a better place. We all are unique and we have different gifts. We're not supposed to be the same. We're here to be diverse and inclusive and allow our gifts to come together, each of us sharing our gift in our own unique and special way. You are endowed with your own unique beauty. And bring that beauty, that light, into the world. The second spiritual lesson that Jesus was saying is you need awareness, you need to take responsibility, and you need to have stewardship. You need to be aware of when we are falling short. We need to be aware of when we are selling ourselves short. Who, me? No, I'm not the kingdom. I'm not, the child of God. No. That's Joe over there. Have you seen Joe? Joe's pretty amazing. How often do we diminish ourselves? How often are we taking our talents and burying them? How often are we taking that beauty, that joy that we have within us and stifling it? Because we feel like we're not enough. Have that awareness of when we're doing that. What would life be like? Imagine if you could take a moment to bring to mind all of your beauty, all of your joy, all of your successes, all of your strengths and skills. Draw upon them in this moment and feel that energy and feel yourself uplifted. That is taking your talents and putting them to use. And it's your responsibility to do that. That's what this story is telling you. A great responsibility was handed over to the servants, and it was their responsibility to make the most of it. It's your responsibility to make the most of who you are and your talents and your gifts and your treasures, that joy that is within you. And it's a form of stewardship. As we hold ourselves with self-compassion, with self-love, as we hold ourselves with this experience of knowing our oneness with God, we are in stewardship of this beautiful gift to give to the world, to express to the world. And the third lesson is how to express it. It takes faith, action, and energy. Now, faith is an important foundation because it puts us in a consciousness of knowing our oneness with God. We may have a plan, we may have a plan of action or not, or we're going with the flow, but faith puts us in the flow. And when we're in the flow, we can then feel the direction in which way we're going. Then we take action. There's someone who said, faith without action is dead. A colleague of mine said, well, faith with action is alive. So when you have that faith and you put it into action, you are bringing to life that energy within you. And the third component is energy. It's the manner in which we show up. And the manner in which we show up is the secret sauce. It's the most important component of all of this. Because if we have faith and we're moving our feet, but we're coming to it from a sense of lack, limitation, sadness, stress, I'm not good enough. What are we creating? We're creating more of that energy. We're creating more of the energy of lack. And so we start having a lack of, a crisis of faith. So when we come to the world with that energy of love and harmony and compassion, when we come to the world with that energy of strength, spiritual strength, not the kind of strength that you butt heads with, but the kind of strength that flows with the energy. When you come to the world with that sense of purpose, I am here to express my gifts, whatever they may be. I'm here to discover, to expand, to create, and allow these gifts to show up in all that I do. It may be that you need to bring this to your work. It may mean that you need to bring this to your relationships, to your time of meditation, to your time on the hills, to your vacations, to your celebrations. Bring this gift with you wherever you go. And beware of the opposite. Beware of the uncertainty. Be aware of the criticism. the self-criticism, the criticism from others. Be aware of the doubt that we'll have within us, because all of these things will cause us to take that talent, our skills, our beauty, and bury it somewhere. So be aware of it. Take your responsibility to lift yourself up. We have wonderful practices of prayer and meditation and affirmation and denial, which is letting go of all of that stuff gently and easily and gracefully as we step into our power. Take ownership and authority over your own sense of being. Be that light that you were meant to be. Take ownership of it and allow yourself to move through it. Beware of the consciousness of lack and limitation. Beware of the beliefs that says we're not enough, because that creates the fear. And the fear is what we blame for us not doing what is ours to do, for us not shining. We blame it on the fear, but it's the consciousness of lack, limitation, and I'm not enough. So be aware of that, let it go, and step into that idea that I am here to do amazing things. Yes? I am here to do amazing things. Together, I am here to do amazing things. That is the truth. And if you heard that last line of the servant being tossed out and gnawing and gnashing, we've all experienced that, haven't we? We've all experienced that when we allowed ourselves to bury who we are, to snuff out that light, to bury that talent. We experience that today. It's not a punishment that's going to come to us. It's what we are doing to ourselves. It's not a statement that God's going to create this for you. No, that's what we're creating for ourselves. It's the law of circulation. Abundance, the law of whatever you want to call it, attraction. That law is what we give to the world, we receive from the world. And when we give with faith, with positive action, and with a beneficial energy, we receive that back from the universe. We receive that back from the world. We are filled with that. That's just simply stating the law. And the kingdom of heaven is like that. That when we say yes to that energy and that experience, we experience that energy and that joy throughout our life. There's a deeper meaning metaphysically. When we look at the Bible metaphysically, we can see ourselves or aspect of ourselves in all of these characters. Charles Fillmore says the talents they symbolize our spiritual gifts of life, love, truth, substance, intelligence, faith, power, wisdom, and will. Every inherent attribute of your being has its root in God. All the gifts of spirit are to be used to our fullest capacity. So imagine if you looked at your gifts and talents as life, love, wisdom, power, will, intelligence, faith. That's yours to express in the world. How would your life be different if you were expressing more of that? Imagine your life if you were expressing more love today, more self-love, more self-compassion. If you were expressing more kindness to people around us, to your friends and family. Imagine how your life would be different and how you would be shining that bright light within you. Each of these characters are within us as well. The servant with one talent. That is our fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Anybody ever have fear, uncertainty, and doubt? Today? Not if, but when. And when we do, just notice, this is something for me to let go. The servant with 2 talents represents that beginning to step into that flow. It represents, I'm starting to apply that practice on a daily basis. I'm starting to see that it does give results. I'm starting to dip my toe into it. I'm reserved still a bit. I waffle back and forth, but I'm moving forward. And the servant with 5 talents represents that I'm going to do it now. I'm just going to go do it. He was the one that started right away. and just stepped out with faith, with understanding, with wisdom, and said, I'm going to double this good. I'm going to shine my light so that I may create more good in the world. And that is who we are come here to be. To allow ourselves to be that light in the world. To allow ourselves to be that joy and enthusiasm for us to do amazing things. Let's move to our affirmation, Felix. I'm going to read our affirmation and then invite you to affirm it. I am love, intelligence, and faith. I use my energy to shine my light. I am doing amazing things. Would you affirm that with me together? I am love, intelligence, and faith. I use my energy to shine my light. I am doing amazing things. And so it is. And so we accept it. And yes, you are. Take a look at all the beautiful lights around this room. Take a look at all of the diversity and the beauty and the creativity, all showing up in different ways. As we move into this time of meditation and affirmative